Welcome back. Welcome back. It's your boy Book Erban, and I'm here on Urban Topic episode 7. And I got the utmost special guest this week for us, man. Happy Thanksgiving to all who's watching, who's listening. Guess who I got in the house today? I'm actually in their house. I got Mr. Caruthers, the great Mr. C, baby. How you doing, Mr. C? What's going on, baby?
What's going on,
What you doing, man? Hey, how you living, man? How you liking? How you liking this upstate? How you liking Greenville? How you liking Simpsonville, man?
I like it a lot up here.
You enjoying it?
It's real nice up here.
Yeah, it is. It's laid back. It's fast. They got a lot of businesses, a lot of stuff for you to do, man. As opposed to where we both came from originally. When I first met him about 10 to 12 years ago, when I was a kid, I wasn't even driving in. So, Mr. C, man, like I say, we so glad to have you on the show. Thank you for welcoming us and allowing us in your home today, man, to do this interview and just to share some of your experiences and your journey. Just let people know, where are you from originally, Mr. C? Where you from, man?
Yeah, it's good to be here with you. Thank you. I feel privileged and humbled for asking me to do this. I am actually born in Chicago, Illinois. A lot of people don't know all the places I lived, and I speak kind of country, so people don't realize that I was born in Chicago. I lived in Chicago for about 3 years. Moved actually to Hong Kong for 2 years.
Really? In China?
It's actually a different country.
Okay.
But yeah.
Really?
I'm not good with geography either, but
wow. I didn't know that.
I don't know exactly where it is, but I was there.
Yeah, for sure. Now that's what's up. That's what's up. How was that experience?
Well, I was 3 to 5 years old,
yeah.
So I don't remember a whole lot about it, but it did bring me a lot of diversity to my background.
Yeah, that's dope. That's dope, man. All right, let's see. So look, what brought you up more this way to the upstate South Carolina, man? For people that don't know, Mr. C, Mr. Caruthers, he is a teacher. He is a high school South Carolina state certified teacher. He's been doing this. How many years you been doing this, Mr. C?
This is my 19th year. 19
years. I'm 31. Mr. C been doing this for 19 years. That's crazy. When I first met Mr. C, I think I was 15 years old. I was in the 10th grade, and you taught me geometry. Then I had you again in my 11th grade year for Algebra 2. And both classes were dope. You allowed us to be engaged. You allowed us to be ourselves and be free, a little bit more freer in your class than a lot of the other teachers were at the time. And it was just always great experiences, and we always learned. I made sure to always sign that calculator out whenever I got it, and put it in that right spot on that wall by that whiteboard. I ain't got no problem with Mr. C. So Mr. C, for people that don't know, I did say calculator, but what subject do you teach?
I teach math.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Okay, you teach all variations of math? Mostly
Algebra 1, Geometry, Algebra 2. I try to avoid the calculus.
Yeah. I feel me too. I did too. No doubt, man. Okay, so what actually inspired you to become a teacher?
I can't say that it was any in particular thing that inspired me, but I went to Clemson to be an engineer because I didn't know what else I really wanted to do.
Really?
My dad was an engineer.
Okay.
And he pushed me to just do that because you make a lot of money doing that.
Yeah.
I figured out at Clemson pretty quick that engineering wasn't really for me.
For sure.
It's a very difficult major, and I couldn't figure out a lot of the projects.
I got you.
And I just started really thinking about what I would really enjoy doing every day. And I just realized that I would like helping teenagers just to better their life and to try to make a difference to them. And I just kind of got excited about it. And so I really just felt at that time really called by God to become a teacher.
Nah, that's dope, man. That's awesome, actually, man. And you definitely played a significant role in my high school years, in my high school tenure at Greenwood High School. I'm a Greenwood High alumni. And you definitely one of the most unforgettable teachers, unforgettable classrooms that we'll never forget. It's like a Mr. Gary. Just to bring up another legend from Greenwood High, Mr. Gary, man. I think he's gone and passed. Rest in peace to him. Rest in heaven, Mr. Gary. But we just appreciate you, Mr. C. And I just want to bring you on the show just to spotlight you and highlight you and just give you an opportunity to share your experiences and your journey and just continue to help, and continue to play a significant role in people's lives, man, so they can figure out what they want to do or just learn from your story. All right, so I know you say you moved around a lot when you growed up. You was born in Chicago, and then you even spent time in Hong Kong and in Asia. So like, what type of environment did you grow up? Like, how often did you move when you were a kid, and what all did you experience?
Well, like I said, I went to Hong Kong, but then I went back to Chicago up through 3rd grade, and then had to move back to Atlanta. And I moved to Atlanta 4th grade through 12th grade. So really? I did spend a good solid 4th through 12th grade in Atlanta.
Okay. Mm-hmm. What part of Atlanta did you stay in?
Alpharetta.
Okay. I don't really know that part. I don't really know what side that's on. Is that Alpharetta? Is that on the south side or?
To be honest, it's Fulton County.
Okay.
It's a suburb, but probably about an hour from the city.
Gotcha.
So, go ahead.
No, you good, Mr. C. I'm just trying to figure out, because I feel like I go to the A so much, I try to remember as much as I can.
Have you ever been to the Dunwoody area?
Yeah, I love Peachtree, Dunwoody area.
So that's where I ended up moving back, was to Dunwoody, but Alpharetta is about 30 minutes.
Okay.
From there, I would say 30 minutes down 285, so from Dunwoody.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. Shout out to the A, man. Shout out to Atlanta, too. We love y'all down there, man. Okay. I'm gonna ask you this question, Mr. C. What if a student or a person is out here right now and they think about becoming a teacher, what resources would you be willing to share with them, or experiences or just advice would you be willing to give them to just help them along their path and their journey to see, to become a teacher, a high school teacher, or just any type of teacher, period?
A couple teachers were talking about this a little while ago, and so like to start off, there are many different routes you can go to becoming a teacher. You don't have to have gone to college for a teacher. There are alternate routes, but definitely if you haven't been to college yet, finding a school that has a good education program, but at an affordable cost, because some people do end up spending more money than they need to become a teacher.
Really? What you mean by that? Explain it, because I don't even know what you mean by that.
Because they'll go to some big school like Clemson and spend all kind of money when they could have gone to gotten just a good degree, learned just as much at another school.
Oh, okay.
I don't know exactly. These teachers were talking about that, but I don't know much about which school is the best. But you want to do your research. But to be honest, hopefully it's gotten better. But back when I was in Clemson about 20 years ago for teaching, I really don't feel like I learned hardly anything that was directly useful to being a teacher. I really had to learn the hard way just through experience. I mean, I just feel like there's so much that they could have taught me that would have gotten me off to a better start.
Really? Because
I had a very difficult start my first year teaching.
Yeah.
And I had to go through a lot.
Where you start off teaching at? Where you do your first year teaching at?
J.L. Mann.
Okay.
High school in Greenville.
Okay. Then when you first graduated from Clemson with your teaching degree, your first stop was J.L. Mann. And then where you go next?
So I did my student teaching at Pickens High School at Clemson.
Oh, okay.
And then I went straight to teaching a lot of inner city kids at Greenville.
Okay.
So it's two different environments. And although my student teacher was trying to give me the best advice she had at the time, it worked for those students that she had, and her approach worked for those students. Mm-hmm. But the types of students that I moved to my first year teaching was a different culture, and they came from different backgrounds, and I had to learn different ways to approach those students.
I got you. To be more engaging and just to get their attention and just to get their respect, to be honest, just to get respect, and so to make sure they respect you as well, right? Yeah. I know it's a tough game out here for teachers. People don't understand that it's a tough game, but you guys are definitely necessary. We appreciate you guys, man. Okay, so when you left jail, man, what was your next stop?
My next stop, God brought me to Greenwood out of nowhere.
Shout out to the Wood, baby.
He brought me to Greenwood out of nowhere. Never heard of it in my whole life.
Never heard of Greenwood, really?
Never heard of it.
Wow, that's horrible.
Yeah.
Okay. And how long did you spend in Greenwood?
I was there 11 years, 7 years at Greenwood High, 4 years at Emerald.
Okay. I'm gonna ask you this, Mr. C. Which one you enjoyed teaching at more, Greenwood High or Emerald? Be honest.
Definitely Greenwood High.
Okay.
Definitely Greenwood High. I will say. Yeah, there was something a little bit extra special about just the spirit of Greenwood High.
Yeah, but definitely Emerald. We definitely know Emerald got a great academic routine and just rubric is what they go by. And shout out to Emerald too. We love y'all too, man. Keep grinding, man. Keep grinding, Vikings. But we Eagles over here. All right, Mr. C. So when you left Greenwood High and Emerald, where did you go next?
I then went to East Atlanta.
East Atlanta. Wow. Shout out to East Atlanta. And what was the name of the school in the East Atlanta that you were teaching at, Mr. C?
I ended up going to Cedar Grove High School.
Okay.
On the east side of Atlanta off Boulder Crest Road.
Right off Boulder Crest. Shout out to East Atlanta. And how was your experience there?
Man, it was such a blessing. I mean, I can't even really put it into words. I didn't know if I'd make it 2 days there.
Really? When you first started?
I didn't know if I'd make it 2 days.
And you spent 4 years?
2 years.
2 years. That's awesome, man. 2 days turned into 2 years. That's dope, man. That's dope. And so then now, okay, so you left Atlanta then. Where are you now?
I am now at Lawrence High.
Okay.
Going in my 5th year at Lawrence High School.
Okay. Shout out to Lawrence. Shout out to the Raiders down there in Lawrence County. We see y'all. That's awesome, man. You had a very just an awesome plethora of a very diverse journey and experience through teaching. What's 3 things that you would suggest somebody to when it comes to teaching, like if they want to be successful at becoming a teacher today? 3 things.
Man, that one made me think.
Take your time. No, you good, man. So take your time, baby.
I had to learn that you can be your own person teaching. Mm-hmm. You don't have to fit to a certain mold that people tell you to be in, because the kids will see right through that anyway.
Yeah.
I had to learn that you don't have to lead the kids by kind of that power trip mentality. Yeah. Like, I'm in charge of you, I'm a teacher, you better listen to me type thing. I learned that that's not how I lead. Yeah. And I chose to lead by, and it's taken me so long, and I wish I could go back, because I feel like I'm such a better teacher now than I was when I taught you.
Nah, you good, man. You're doing an awesome job. You did a great job, man. Everything you explained, and we seen it in you, and it got the most out of us, believe it or not, man. Like, listen, I tell you I try to tell you all the time, Mr. C, man, you're a legend, and we all love you, man. Like, we appreciate you, seriously. I mean that. You're a legend to us, man. And you was a great example for us, because for one thing, you weren't too much older than us, and we seen that. You know what I mean? And a lot of times kids at that age, they kind of take advantage of that. You know what I'm saying? They try to say like, oh, well, you ain't that much older than me. How can you tell me something? But truthfully, you actually use your age and your experiences as a bridge to become more engaged with us and just to relate with us, man. And that was awesome.
Well, I mean, I'm just humbled by everything that I hear, because I have a hard time believing in myself. And I think that that's one of the things that just kind of connects me to my students, is that I'm the type of person that's always struggled myself with life. Yeah. And so I try to put myself in the same shoes, and I know that God's been very merciful to me in my life through all the mistakes I've made. And I would want somebody to do the same thing for me and be very merciful and patient to me. Yeah. So I just try to lead by love, encouragement, and letting them know I'm there to help them. Mm-hmm. And once they know that, I just try to lead by love. Yeah. And you don't have to. A lot of bosses in different organizations and companies feel like some people feel like you got to lead by you better respect me and fear me because I'm the boss and I'm But like I just realized that when you let go and you just let God have His way, you don't have to lead or do things the way that people would typically do them.
Yeah. Now that's dope. That's dope, Mr. C, and we appreciate you for that, man. That's awesome, actually. Okay, I'm gonna ask you a question. I'm gonna get to a nitty-gritty question. What was one of the most name an instance throughout your teaching career where you knew that what you were doing was for a bigger and better purpose, and you knew it was going, for a positive direction?
I think that was one of the hardest questions that you've asked, because it's really hard sometimes for me to determine how much of an impact I had.
I got you.
Because even you coming to me is like, wow, I didn't realize I impacted Kevin like that. And I appreciate that a lot. A couple of the things that have meant a lot to me is I did have a couple of my former students come back and actually spend time with me and my students that I have now in my classroom, and literally spent the whole day with me.
Yeah.
And I just felt like that was just an awesome experience for me, watching my students impact my new current students.
Yeah.
And that's something I want you to do too.
Yeah, we're gonna tap in with you, Miss. Don't worry, we're coming, baby. We coming, man. Believe that. We coming, man. So you just basically, you got a great retention rate. You just what you doing, man, and just showing you what the Most High showing you, Miss C, is that you just enjoying the fruits of your labor, man. We were some of the seeds that you planted, and we just coming back, man. You enjoyed it. That's what we're supposed to do. And we not doing what we're supposed to do. It ain't on you. That's on us. We supposed to be handling our business that way, man. That's what it's all about anyway. Recycling that love, recycling those experiences, and letting the people that come after us learn, so they can do better than us. You know what I mean? That's what we want to do. We want you to be better than us. We want you to keep grinding and do things that we weren't able to accomplish, and just be the next person to help up. Pull somebody up instead of pulling somebody down. That's why we here, baby. All right, Mr. C. I'm gonna ask you a question, just because I'm a parent and I'm a father, and I'm married, me and my wife, and we only been parenting for about 4.5 years. So what can parents do better, or what would you suggest for parents to do to better equip their students to come in the classroom and be ready to go and be situated and just be focused in order to get this education that's being provided for them?
I think just staying on top of their education at all times, being the one to initiate the conversation with the teacher and not waiting for the teacher to call them, but touching base with the teacher on a regular basis. But not only that, but to check their homework, and don't just take their word for it. Check their notes and see if they're taking adequate notes.
Yeah.
Don't just say, oh, okay, you don't have no homework. Say, I want you to get it out.
Yeah.
And let's see how you're taking notes. And not just that, but actually teach them to study, or study with them.
Yeah.
And I know that's hard as a parent, and I give parents all the props in the world for what they do. And I know it's hard, but if you can spare just some extra moments to study with your child and see exactly where they're at with their math, or where they're at. My mom always helped me study for my tests, and I'm thankful for that. I don't know how I could have done it without her, but she actually took the time to sit down with me and study stuff with me. Even if she didn't understand the subject, she might have read the flashcards for me and see if I could see the thing.
Yeah, just recite it back. Yeah. So basically, what you're saying, a parent should just, even if it ain't nothing but 30 minutes out the day. I know it's tough because everybody working full time. You got to work to get money, or whether you're running a business or whatever it may be, whatever your profession may be. Just take at least 30 minutes to an hour, if possible, out of the day, and just become more engaged with your students, with your child's education, and just keep that same level of communication with your teacher, just that upright, honest, and respectable level of communication with the teacher as well, so we all can be on the same page, because it's a team effort. It's a team to get this student to succeed. Man, that's awesome. That's awesome. Okay, now I'm going to ask you this question from the other side. Okay, what do you think, since you've been doing it for almost 20 years, Mr. C, what do you think a teacher or teachers could do better? Or what would you like to see change, by teachers in order to better equip their students to succeed?
Well, what I do, I don't expect any teacher to have to do, or I respect every teacher for what they can do. It's very hard to get me to put down a teacher in anything they do, and I know that's not what we're talking about. But what I try to do is, if there is a struggling students in my class, I try to reach out to them. I know it's their responsibility to come to the teacher, and that's what they should do. But just this day and age and what that kid is going through at the time, and the things they're dealing with at home, some of them aren't going to do that. So what I do is, if I have to get that kid and put him up next to me and sit down with him while everybody else is working on their work and work one-on-one with him, I do a problem, he do the next one. I do a problem, do the next one. I've seen that have more impact than on a lot of stuff I do. I've been doing that a lot over the last 10 years. I give every student a chance to pass up until the very end. So everybody has a chance. And I bring them to me, and while they're with me at my desk, that will give me my chance to counsel them and talk to them about whatever they've been going through, as well as help them with their math, and to teach them that they should be the one that would have come to me, because your next teacher might not seek you out. So it's your responsibility. But they might not have anybody at home to teach them that. And so I have seen huge changes in doing that to kids, to where they'll start, after I take the initial, they'll start to come to me without me even saying that.
And then when they go to the next class or the next year, once they pass to the next grade, they know how to approach a teacher. They know how to engage with that teacher. They know how to just ask for help when they need help. And they even become a teacher in their own class, I'm pretty sure. They start helping students around them and just being an example. Now, that's dope. So basically, teachers should just do a better job of just showing a little bit more effort whenever they can, or whenever they're able to help their students, especially the ones that need that extra help, that need that extra attention. Because I know, man, when I had you back in 2005 and 06, Mississippi, we had cell phones, but they were flip phones. You know what I'm saying? But now you got these cell phones now, and how you can make $1 million on your cell phone in 2 days if you handle your business correctly. So, or you can scroll all day and just read any type of content that's being displayed. So I know the attention route is crazy right now in schools, man. I know it'll be tough right now. So, man, keep grinding, Mississippi. We appreciate you, man. We appreciate you. So, my last question, man, I just want to ask you this, Mississippi. What do you plan to do next? You know what I mean? As far as do you plan on going to another school, or I pretty much know that you're excited and you're happy and you're very comfortable where you at in Lawrence and the great work that you're doing down in Lawrence High School with those Raiders. What are your next plans? You plan on doing any type of charity events or anything that you're getting involved in?
That's a loaded question for me, and it's something I honestly struggle with a lot, my next move, because I definitely don't think that your profession should be your sole purpose on earth. And I don't think you should always revolve your life around your job. Teaching is a calling to me, but it's not my life. But to be honest, it's been a struggle to do more. I used to do more when I was younger, but I do want to get more actively involved in a church. I haven't been attending church like I used to. I'd like to help out in some kind of community organization. It's Habitat for Humanity. It's hard for me to find the motivation for that, so I need the prayers to move me to that next level, because I also do want to settle down and get married. Because I know teaching 20 years, man, it's tough to be able to focus on a relationship and just give you, especially with the type of effort you put in your classroom with your students, man. So I understand that, Mississippi, 100%, baby. Is there anything else you want to say to any of your students back home before we let you go, Mississippi? I love you guys. Thank you so much for everything you've done for me and just listening to me and encouraging me. So many of you have touched my life and helped me to continue to be the teacher that I am today. Especially my original people from Greenwood High, my original folks from the good old days. I mean, if it wasn't for y'all, I don't know what I'd do, because that was right after I almost quit teaching. My first year teaching, I almost quit. And I didn't.
Hey, you hear that, Greenwood, man? We got power, baby. Keep using it for the right things, for all positivity, though, man. Keep grinding, man. We got Mr. C with us here on Urban Topic, episode 7. And we out, man.